just wanted to kind of recap a little bit from the last video. You know, back in 1979, I got strep throat. I was 11 years old. The doctors didn't really know what to do with me. They kind of knew what was going on, but they didn't know how to treat it. I don't think that they quite understood that it was strep that they were dealing with. So I think that they were supposed to give me some antibiotics, but they kind of worked, I guess. But it came rolling back when the weather changed. And when I was 13, I had a kidney biopsy, which was inconclusive. And then when I was like 19 in college, I was seeing another doctor, and he said that that biopsy was inconclusive because when they took the sample, they clipped a piece of fat tissue. So of course there was no actual kidney tissue to examine. And that procedure was like the most torturous thing that you could put a 13-year-old through. Aside from like literally doing, horrible things like breaking your fingers or whatever. And it was kind of like that because they put me on this table and they kind of explained certain things. But I'm 13. My parents, okayed everything. These are the doctors. They know what they're doing. I have a team of people around me. And yet, when it came time to pierce my skin through the back, they pierced my skin through the back to access the kidney from the closest location. I was fully conscious. There was no, they gave me some kind of anesthetic or sedative. I don't know what they gave me. But it didn't work at all. I was in full consciousness. I felt every single thing. I felt when they pierced. I felt as they were poking that long needle through my back into my kidneys. And when they actually clipped the kidney, I actually felt the snap. And I screamed. It was just horrible. I mean, I don't think that they explained to my mother that it was going to be all that. And I'm fairly certain that she would have said that no, she didn't want her child going through all that. But anyway, so they did that, and like I said, it was inconclusive. So this is part of the reason why I say, make sure that you know everything when the doctors are telling you, okay, we want to take this test, and we want to do this procedure, and we want to do, this other thing. We're going to cut this part out of your body. Please ask as many questions as you can think of, and then don't say yes. Go, home, do your research, investigate everything you can understand about the thing, and then maybe say yes, But I'm telling you, if you understand fully half of the things that they're trying to tell you that they want to do on you, you'd probably say no. You'd probably say no. Let's just try something different. Let's do something less invasive. Just always stick to the less invasive things if you can, And as far as transplantation is concerned, I opted not to do the transplant, to be on the transplant list. I was on the transplant list for several years. The first time around, the first 2 years on dialysis, I was on the transplant list. And then I got off the list because I wasn't on dialysis anymore. And then when I went back on dialysis in 2008, they pressured me. My husband pressured me. Everybody said, oh, you really should do this. People at the church, people at my Bible study, all these people, oh, you really should do this. You should be on the transplant. You should get a transplant. You should get a kidney transplant. But the fact of the matter is that transplantation is not the panacea that they say it is. It does not heal you. You still have kidney disease. You just have something that's maybe a little bit of a stopgap. First of all, if you get past, all of the the rejection, because a lot of people reject an organ, that might have been perfectly tissue typed for you. They reject the organ, maybe after a few months, up to like a couple years, you might still be fighting the rejection, and then finally you just can't stand it and they have to take it out, you know, before it kills you. And then, but truly, I mean, even if everything works out perfectly well, at the beginning, most transplanted kidneys only last about 10 to 12 years. It's very unusual, very, very unusual to hear of a person having a kidney or any kind of organ that's transplanted lasting more than that. 20 years is almost like unheard of. I don't even know if it's even been done before. But anyway, between the medications, which are many, you can be taking as many as like 20 or I don't know how many per day. You're taking all of these medications per day, and a lot of these medications are like to stop the rejection of the kidney, but a lot of them are just to counteract the side effects of all these different medications that you're being given. A lot of them, I'd say more than half the medications that you're being given are to counteract the side effects of the ones that are actually supposed to be doing something for you. So, between all of that and the fact that, after the second time of being on dialysis, just about every medication that I was given, my body started to become allergic to them. I became allergic to just about everything. As a matter of fact, I'm not on any medication now because I just I can't tolerate them. I get hives, my body breaks out in a massive rash. Right before I was on dialysis, in 2008, at the end of 2007, I went to see a doctor who was not a nephrologist, he was just a general practitioner. And he says, oh, you have kidney disease, you have high blood pressure, your potassium is high, your phosphorus is high, your parathyroid hormone is high, everything is high, you better start taking these medicines, So he gave me, let me see, I wrote it down. He gave me Azor, which is for high blood pressure. He gave me Tecturna, which is another high blood pressure. These are two fairly brand new medications. And then there was Sensipar, which is actually to counteract the parathyroid hormone from producing too much parathyroid hormones, to counter the parathyroid, so that it wouldn't make as much of the hormone. So anyway, because the hormone, whenever your phosphorus is too high, the hormone kicks into gear, and it causes calcium to be eroded out of the bones in order to kind of cancel out the phosphorus. So that's what it does. That's what your normal kidneys would do, and the kidneys regulate the parathyroid hormone. So when your kidneys are out of whack, everything goes out of whack, and the parathyroid hormone, it just does its own thing, and then the hormone just skyrockets and gets out of control, and it just keeps pulling calcium out of your bones whether or not it's needed to be doing that. And then your muscles become weak, and your bones get osteoporosis, and before you know it, you're walking around a very young person with bones of a 90-year-old. So, and that's what happened to me. I was walking around with a cane. I walk with a cane now. But anyway, back to the allergy thing. So, and back to the transplantation. So, I'm not telling you that you should not get a transplant, but just understand that there's a massive push for transplantation because they don't feel that there's any other recourse beyond that. I know for sure that kidneys can recover if they're not too far gone. Right now I think my kidneys are basically too far gone. Right now, my hope is in Christ, is in Jesus, healing my kidneys by his stripes, by the stripes of Jesus. It says, by his stripes I am healed. So that is what I'm counting on. I'm counting on Jesus, because there is no relying on medicine. There's no relying on doctors. Doctors are people. And really all they're doing is just experimenting on you. Try this medicine, see if it works. Try this procedure, see if it works. I had twice surgery done on my parathyroid glands. The first time they cut out, there's 4 of them. They cut out, it's underneath the thyroid. They cut out 3 of the glands they cut out completely. And they left the last one, they left 1/4 of a piece of one of the glands. They left it in there, and it was heaven for somebody on dialysis. My strength came back. I didn't need a cane. I didn't need to worry about phosphorus or calcium. I could eat all the ice cream and cheese I wanted to. It was fantastic. It was, like I said, it was pretty heavenly. And I was on PD at the time. Wait, was I on PD? No, I wasn't on PD yet. I was still, needing to restrict fluids, but anyway, it was pretty good. And I was, walking around like nothing, and nobody really could tell that I was on dialysis, because that particular part of my situation was good. But then, slowly but surely, that parathyroid hormone grew back with a vengeance, and it was horrible. And so I was back to work using a cane. My muscles were weak again, and I said, okay, well, this is happening again. I need to get that surgery, because worked like a charm the first time. So I was sold. I was like, I'm doing this thing. What I gotta do, And then the second time I needed to take these 3 different tests that I didn't take the first time, in order just preliminary to the surgery. And those tests were very daunting. I just didn't even, it took me a long time to get the test done in order to just get the surgery. And then I got the surgery, and it damaged my vocal cords, and it didn't do anything for the parathyroid. My PTH levels are the same now as they were before the surgery. They dropped a little bit. Before it was like maybe 1200 plus, and right after the surgery it was 700. But it very quickly went back up to like 1200. Now it's 1800. And it's like, what did you do? Did you do anything in there? I mean, you spent 5 hours, slicing is what he said. He was slicing. And, what do I have now? I have this crazy pipsqueak voice, which, I personally detest this sound, because it's not the voice that I've had most of my life. My husband loves it. He thinks it's so sweet. Everybody says, oh, you have such a sweet voice. I love your voice. Oh, your voice is so wonderful. It's so soothing. It's like, okay, thank you so much. I try not to cringe when they say that. But anyway, that's the story of my voice. I lost my voice because of a surgery that was recommended by all the doctors. And so I've lost faith in medicine. There's no, right now I'm just on maintenance. I take some vitamins. I take omega-3. I take calcium, because I started taking K2, and it kind of now requires me to take calcium again. And that's it. I really don't take anything else, because sometimes, I'll talk to you about that also. Sometimes the supplements backfire on you, and then, you know, you're like in big trouble, big trouble. So, anyway, it's been 15 minutes and I really think I've talked enough. So I'll talk to you some more in a little while. Thanks for watching.